Yeah, I was just setting up the camera at the back here.
There was something down in the middle. And by the way, this procedure that Luda's talking about, of increasing difficulty, is the kind of process you're going to go through with any command.
That's what he keeps saying.
So right here?
Yeah.
There we go.
What's the best way to introduce a brand new baby to a dog?
Oh.
In a large bowl. 15 minutes.
Okay. Okay, so number one, you have to introduce your dog to new experiences every single day of his life. If you can't, as often as you can. So introduce other babies, introduce all kinds of different smells. Babies, the dogs are so smart that they know that the babies are not humans. Well, not adults anyway. It's a different species for them than from other humans. And they absolutely love this species. Absolutely love. So if you don't have a dog that hates everything around him, the baby will be just fine. All you need to do, you need to be nice and calm. You need to be very pleasant, and you need to react to your dog's behavior in a positive way. You are not allowed to say no to the dog, or like say don't, unless you said 50 good things to what he did. So watch what he's doing. Oh, good dog. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, this is better. I love what you're doing here. Unless you said 50 of those, you're not allowed to say bad dog. Understand? Nothing the dog can do. In the beginning, when you introduce your baby to your dog, or any other situations that you're trying to train, to get your, like for example, say hello properly to other dog or to other humans, or like greet people or what have you. In the beginning, when you just train in this situation, what you are going to do, you're going to identify good behavior as not bad behavior. So everything that is not bad is good, and you just giving your dog feedback non-stop. You also react to this behavior in your emotion, in the range of emotion that you have. This was okay. Oh, this was better. Oh, this was so good. The emotions, keep it in mind all the time. Emotions that you have, your dog understands without any help, any training, nothing. He knows your emotions right away. So use it. None of this stuff, yes, no, good, click, 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 click. None of this stuff. You're just taking away a richness of emotions to tell your dog exactly how well he did on the scale. And the more emotion you give back to him, the better he understands what exactly you want from him. What is the behavior? Now, we are not often, this is another big problem with the dog training, that we often say to the dog things we don't like. But we completely say absolutely nothing and just take it for granted the things we do like. So if I were to tell you today what I don't like, would you know what I like? So is a dog. He has no idea what you like. Just because you told him not to do this specific thing, to lick your baby in the cheek, he doesn't know that he's not supposed to grab them by the hand or something. He doesn't know that. But what you do need to tell him that, oh, I like it when you just touched it and left alone, when you were sniffing slightly around. I do like this. Or I love it when you just sat next to the baby, kind of touch him with a balm. I love this really, really much. So you have to keep telling the dog what you like in other circumstances all the time. Because that's what's going to teach him what to do instead of what not to do. And if you run into the situation that you are seeing something that you don't like, you should ignore it, unless it's dangerous. So if it's dangerous, if the dog is about to bite the baby, I'm sorry, kick the dog. Right? I'm not for it, but the baby is more important. But what I'm saying is, dog is not going to do it naturally most of the time, right? So in dangerous situations, you react however way you react to stop it. But in not dangerous situation, you just remove the situation and don't react anyway, because you know what? The negative feedback is the second best to the positive feedback. If the dog didn't get any reaction out of you, then the reaction, oh, don't do this, is pretty good one. It's better than nothing. So he's going to do it again, just to get this reaction out of you. So instead, you say, right? Oh, I like this one. Oh, I like this one, and I like, there you go. This is the reaction that you're going to give him. Got it? Good? Yes, got it.
going over there
Okay.
first, because I know that hand was up earlier. And we're not going to have time to deal with all of your questions, unfortunately. We've only got 10 minutes left.
Thank you. And my dog is not good at eating dog food. I've worked my way through the local pet store. We've tried dried food, we've tried tin food, we've tried raw food. I do all the right things. I offer the food, take it back up after half an hour, offer it again. And the longest I've held out for is 4 days. And I think I'm quite stubborn, but I gave in after 4 days and fed her chicken.
What kind of
She's a
dog?
little cockapoo, a cocker
Cockapoo.
spaniel
Oh, okay.
mixed with a poodle.
Very smart. Okay.
Too smart.
Yes. Okay. So your dog trained you really, really well.
Sounds like we're moving to the caviar.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So now, knowing that you are trained, right, that's going to be more difficult to train a dog because you already trained and the dog does know it, right? For everybody else, never get into this situation. Often people would say to me, "How did you? I don't understand how I'm going to train my dog. My dog doesn't like food." And I keep saying, "Are you alive? Is the dog alive?" So he does eat something, right? So the question is, how do you use the food? And in your situation, I would just leave the ice cream out. Great. Great. Okay, so your dog already knows that he's going to get something. You have to break it. You can't starve your dog. But if you're going to give an ice cream out, it's maybe the very first one. Remember what I was telling you? Maybe just wet a little bit of the food and put something nice into it and just leave it lying around. I understand that it might take.
So the ice cream maybe will contain what your dog is eating now. For the smell.
Maybe the chicken for now. Maybe chicken for now. But then there's going to be something else later when you're going to be leaving it out.
I've tried fixing it.
Okay. I understand. What you're going to do is you're going to just let her have it without you jumping around her, and that's it. She is going to eat. Now, she is going to eat at some point. Dogs need to survive. At some point, survival instinct comes in. But I'm going to tell you something else what you're going to do. You're going to actually take your dog and give it to somebody like me. And I'm not saying give it completely. What I'm saying is, for the dog's well-being, you need to find a place where people are not going to jump in front of them and they're not trained yet. Right? I'm going to love your dog, I'm going to be touching him, I'm going to be feeling, he is going to be using other dogs as an example. Okay, here's another thing. Science tells us that dogs follow other dogs by example. They do not follow humans by example. We are different species. So if you're going to sit in front of them and try to lick the food and say, "Oh my God, how tasty," the dog says, "No, maybe for you, not for me." But if your dog sees another dog eating the food, they will be kind of interested in it. And if they will get hungry, I'll tell you why the dog is going to get hungry in a place like mine. We go out with the dogs every hour, from 7 o'clock in the morning first time till 11 o'clock at night last time. Sometimes for 5 minutes, sometimes for 2 hours, depends. And we do a whole bunch of different things. Dog is hungry. He has just done a lot of stuff. And here's my pack coming in, let's say anywhere from 5 to 25 dogs at a time, and they all want to eat. And your dog is going to want to eat. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time. He might waste 24 hours, but he is going to want to eat in the third meal by himself. I have had lots of clients like you, and they would tell me, "You cannot do it. The dog will not eat." Every one of them ate. In fact, I actually filmed it and I put it on my YouTube channel. And if you will go to my YouTube channel, Area K9 YouTube channels, and you will see the dogs eat. And the reason I show it to them, I have the video there because people told me that their dog will never eat. They do by themselves. All you need to do is be insistent. You need to be smarter, because you are human. You are smarter than your dog. However smart your dog is, they will eat. They need to survive. If you will find a place like mine, it will help you. It will help your dog to eat by himself, but then you have to still insist in your house to do it by yourself. He will eat in mine, but not yours. If you keep giving up and saying, okay, this dog already knows you will give up, so don't. Okay, I hope it will helps you.
Okay,
Yes.
tongue in cheek, just pop your dog in the airmail.
Do you think there are certain characteristics in a breed that we find very difficult to train? I've had rough collies now for 40 years.
Mhm.
They are all skittish.
Mhm.
So if a door slams, if somebody drops something or anything, they will start to bark, and there's nothing I can do to stop them. All of them have been the same. So
Mhm.
what do you suggest?
I suggest to start from the beginning and lock your dog in the bathroom with yourself, and after you have taught him to bark on the command, because that's the main thing that people are skipping, and that's why they're not succeeding on stopping your dog to bark. The command quiet should be started from the time when you actually ask him to speak first, then lock yourself in the bathroom, and then teach them, because my dogs are absolutely the same. They bark at everything, at things that I can't even imagine what is out there. Sometimes I feel like he's just sitting there, oh, nobody barked for a while, so he starts barking. But the moment I say quiet, he goes quiet, because I started from something that wasn't too difficult for him. From the bathroom, he's speaking, and then he talks to me, and there's nothing in the world, and then created the level of when the car drives into the driveway. It was just one step up from the nobody in the driveway, then from somebody driving somewhere else, far enough, then from like the car, I turned on TV and the car was driving on the TV, to many different steps until the car drove into the driveway, and I said again, and he stopped barking. So you start from the basic. First teach your dog to speak on a command, then lock yourself in the bathroom, and then from there, slightly increasing the difficulty to the difficult problems that you have right now. And yes, dogs have different characteristics, and like I'll give you an example. My dogs are Shetland sheepdogs. They're not supposed to crawl, or they're not supposed to roll. Every trainer told me they're not going to crawl because they have too much fur and they can't find the middle of the gravity, so it's difficult for them to roll or to crawl, right? I do. Because I got there slowly, and then I got them to do that. Also, it's difficult for me to take multiple dogs. Multiple dogs, sometimes you get one dog started barking, second one starts barking, right? So if you have problem training two dogs, take the one out. So I was training my two dogs to crawl, for example. They wouldn't do it and wouldn't do it, we wouldn't do it. So, but one was worse than another one. So the worst one, Abel, I sent out with Gary to a park for a couple of hours, and I was walking for a couple of hours on cane, and finally I got him to crawl. So then when Abel came in, and he saw that his brother is crawling, he's like, okay, I can probably try it again. And I don't get on my knees, but I got this one to do it, so the other one was watching him and doing it better. And another thing is you can actually get that into circumstance. It's always better to get when there's not one, not two, but 20 dogs do. When I actually say in my at home, when I say sit and all 20 sit, the one that never sat sits down. Not right away, but does sit down. Zaki, 6 months old, by the way, he was at the time of filming it. He does take his head away now because other dogs do. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Kind of.
We've got about 3 minutes left before the bingo crowd comes in. Time for maybe one very quick. It's got to be quick. Who's quick?
Okay, the quick is always long.
Are you quick or are you quick?
I think I'm quick.
All right, I'll let you have it. You can ask yourself.
Okay, is it possible for a 5-year-old dog who has previously looked forward to and enjoyed his walks to suddenly become agoraphobic, apparently?
Okay, yes, of course it's possible. And sometimes we don't even know what happened, because whatever happened wasn't, we didn't know. We didn't notice, because their senses are very different from our senses. Or maybe we were looking in a different direction, whatever. The dog's short-term memory is 10 seconds long. If you're training a dog and training to do something, you need to say yay or nay to the behavior he just exhibited that you liked or didn't like within the first 1 second, maximum 2 seconds. But so this is how training is happening, right? You're reacting to behavior. Yes, 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 no, yes, 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 no. This is how you should be reacting. But the bad thing about the really bad thing that happens, it goes straight from the short term into the long term, and you didn't even know how. Just dropping the keys could be a signal for some kind of bad reaction. So maybe something bad had happened to him. You didn't notice. Maybe the beep beeped him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't guess it. Just train the behavior you want. It doesn't matter why he did it. Just maybe open doors enough to the beginning, then close the doors, then go out, maybe 1 step out, back inside, maybe 2 steps out, back inside, maybe 2 steps out. Oh, what a good dog, let me play with you. Go back inside. Just you train the behavior you want. Yes, things can happen, but don't leave your dog inside because they love being outside. It's hard life for him to just be inside all the time. You need to get them out again. Okay? Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very much for coming. And you can still ask us questions until tomorrow. And even if you see us in Southampton tomorrow, stop us and we can answer the questions. Okay?